films in the future. I think film has, quite a long time ago, reached the maximum quality that it's going to get to. And I think the digital has got a long way to go yet. We've seen year on year the half-life of a digital technology is only about a year and a half, right? So that quality is constantly increasing as the technology advances. So we're looking shortly at 7K, which will probably be as good, if not surpassing film at that stage.
Nothing from me. I mean, I actually think I'm getting gypped when I go to a movie and I realize it's either been shot on digital or being projected in digital. I mean, some people feel differently about this, but I think it's the death keel. I think it's the death rattle, and you know, it's, yeah, I do. And I also have even another whole aspect about it. You know, I've always believed in the magic of movies. To me, the magic of movies is connected to 35mm, because everyone thinks, you can't help but think, that when you're filming something on film, that you're recording movement. You're not recording movement. You are just taking a series of still pictures. There's no movement in movies at all. They are still pictures. But when shown at 24 frames a second, through a light bulb, it creates the illusion of movement. So thus, as opposed to a recording device, when you're watching a movie, a film print, you are watching an illusion. And to me, that illusion is connected to the magic of movies.
I got a call from George Lucas saying, we'd like to invite you to a gathering we're having up at the ranch. We want to show our digital movie projects to all the big film directors in Hollywood, just to let them know what digital is here now and kind of educate them on that. And you've shot twice as many movies than the rest of us. I've shot one, and Francis Ford Coppola has been shooting some tests, and we would like you to speak to Spielberg and to Scorsese and Oliver Stone and Michael Bay, all these guys who gathered there. And so I did a whole presentation, and it was pretty funny. It was pretty receptive. I remember Oliver Stone was standing up for the DP. He goes, wait a minute, what about the art of cinematography? You know, well, you still have to light these things. It's not like they just light themselves. You still have to. There's still an art to making this look good. But you can just see what you're doing. You couldn't see what you were doing before. And he said, what about the art of guessing? Well, you just turn your monitor off. It'll be just like the old days. He got a big laugh from that.
I don't know really. I guess the fact that you can do more with digital, like you can do more editing outside of the camera as well as inside. I mean, there is more possibilities with digital. The fact that it's cheaper and doesn't take as long as it sets up makes it a bonus. But I wouldn't say film's just gone, like it's not there anymore. I'd say digital still has its time and it's still got room. I don't know. I reckon there is still room for celluloid.
Making a film digitally and releasing a film in the same digital process is a beautiful image. It creates an extraordinary, clean, sharp image. But making a film on celluloid, as I'd like to do with all of my pictures, but then transferring it and releasing it and projecting it digitally is a very inferior image. So the decision to go out with a vast majority of theaters, motion picture film theaters, was a simple decision for me to make. But digital cinema is inevitable. It's right around the corner, and someday even I will have to convert, but right now I love shooting on film.
They still have that on the tour?
It seems hypocritical if you're a creative person to be saying no to anything, especially anything new. I mean, it's the definition of your job to be exploring, to be evolving, to create new knowledge. I mean, that's your job as an artist. So I'm always surprised when people say no or are taking a kind of hand-on-hip attitude about something new, whether it's a piece of technology or a piece of art that's just doing something different. That always surprises me, and I would never want to be perceived that way as someone who's static.
Right.
You know, because that's, you know, that's unnatural. It's actually, stasis is an unnatural form of being, because nothing in this universe is static. You know, everything is moving forward. It can't help it. And so any ideology to me that sort of says, we are at the end of discovery about this thing, I just go, well, there's absolutely no evidence to suggest that that's true. Like we are always, in essence, at the beginning of infinity, no matter what we're talking about. There's always another iteration. There always will be. And that's the fun of it.
Well, did you check the batteries? No. We lose focus in this game for 1 second.
I know. Somebody gets hurt. I don't hear Yen complaining.
Achieved so far with it. I don't think it should be. I think it should always have two decisions as to where you can make your film. Like, so I mean, imagine if you didn't want to make your film on digital, because there are various directors who don't want to make it on digital. So if they hate digital, what will they make their film on?
I keep thinking of painting. Is it the end of oil painting? Or is it the end of... I really don't think, I think celluloid is still going to be a choice. I don't think the fact that you have, you know, Polaroid has gone out.
Painting doesn't take 12 people. Painting doesn't take, you know, painting doesn't have the same...
True, there's financially.
You know, exactly, you know what I mean? Painting is like, I can...
Well, that's the problem with the digital, in the sense, I mean, another aspect, I should say, not a problem, but another aspect one has to think, that this idea of the image that is digitized and you think will always be there, and it's cheaper and it's faster. Anything cheaper and faster, it makes sense for the businessman to finance, you know? But the danger, especially I think in our culture, is that the cheaper, faster is consumed, bang, goes away. There's nothing. There's no nourishment.
It has to be forced obsolescence.
Yeah. And so that's the danger. Yes, to be cheaper and faster so that it can enable us to enrich a culture rather than just consume it.